bring in Congressman Steve Watkins. He is with us. He's an Army veteran. He's also a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, on which Ilhan Omar sits. So she is there on that committee. Should she be, Congressman? What do you think?
Well, thank you, David. Once again, my colleague Ilhan Omar is on the wrong side of history and common sense and even decency. The U.S. is on the side of peace, prosperity, and democracy. Maduro has wrecked this country, destroying its institutions, its natural resources, its humanity. You know, President-elect Juan Guaido enjoys the support of basically all of the Latin America community of nations, over 50 countries in the world, and most importantly, the Venezuelan people, which, oh, by the way, are why this is so important. Listen, those people are suffering. I spent 8 years in conflict and post-conflict environments. These people are fleeing the country, 3 million, and that's out of 30 million, so 10%. Estimates say it could go up to even 5 million are fleeing the country. And basically, let's face it, guys, this is a commentary on socialism versus capitalism, on dictatorship versus democracy.
Congressman, thank you for being with us, and thank you especially for your service to the country. A lot of folks are worried. Is there any reason under which American troops would get involved in this terrible conflict down in Venezuela? Do you anticipate, could we see any American troops get involved for any reason?
Well, I've talked with the Department of State as well as the U.S. Southern Command, and all options are on the table.
Congressman, it's Carol Roth. In terms of Maduro being removed, let's say he's removed either peacefully or non-peacefully, we obviously know that there's some depth in terms of the corruption in the country. There is mafia, there's drug lords, cartels, and the like, and it's going to take some time to sort through that. Do you think if there is a transition, the U.S. would get involved in supporting Guaido in terms of making sure that that transition is done peacefully and that they can return to a democratic state?
Absolutely. The focus and mission of the Department of State and the U.S. Southern Command is that there's a peaceful transition to Guaido, and that there's an off-ramp for the 2 million government employees in the general, so that they understand that the U.S. strongly prefers a peaceful resolution.
Congressman, it's Christina Partsinevelos here. I actually want to continue on that thought. You're talking about peacefulness. If you have the U.S. military invade Venezuela, how do we assure that it's not going to be a similar outcome to the U.S. going into Afghanistan and then trying to stabilize the environment there? It's easy to get Maduro out, and I know that I'm just, hypothetically speaking, but the aftermath of that is what is so difficult. So how do you overcome that?
Well, the mission would be to work by, with, and through our partners in the area, of which we have several. We've had Special Forces operatives training Colombian military personnel for quite some time. There's Dutch and French forces in the area, and we've got friends, and our mission would be to work with them.
Congressman Gary Kaltbaum here. Putin in Russia. The last thing we're hearing is they talked Maduro out of leaving, and I gather that has to do with the fact that Russia has a ton of money involved with Venezuela. Is there any talking to Russia, negotiating with Russia, trying to induce them to maybe do the right thing for once and back away and get this guy out?
Listen, I'm a Kansan. I'm a huge fan of Pompeo. He's our guy. He's giving it a full court press on this. And again, listen, look who's behind Nicolas Maduro. We've got Cuba, Russia, China. I mean, that alone should tell you. So we're going to continue to work diplomatic solutions and in hopes of a peaceful outcome.
We mentioned Russia, and you just mentioned Cuba. The Cubans, thousands of them, literally, a lot of them masquerading as doctors and such, have penetrated the government organizational structure, so that some people say they're running secret intelligence, which spies on all the people of Venezuela. How do you root them out?
Well, I've heard estimates from 5 to 20,000, perhaps even more. And, as this peaceful transition ensues, there's going to be a special place for them.
Well, that indicates the use of military force to get rid of them. What are you saying?
Listen, our goal is for a peaceful transition. We're going to work towards that end, all in support of President-elect Juan Guaido.
Well, let's hope it happens sooner than later. Thank you very much for being with us, Congressman. Really appreciate it.